Hi, welcome back to the JohnRx broadcast, and today I'm covering Trump's bullshit speech he gave on Thursday claiming that China rigged a bunch of elections for the Democrats, which is absolutely insane, but we're going to cover that, we're going to talk about it, so yeah, let's do it. Um, I got this video pulled up. I'm gonna just set it to 1.25. Man, talk slow. Alrighty, let's go.
Good evening. Before we begin, I'm proud to report that our country is safer, stronger, and far wealthier than it has ever been before. We are doing great. Less than 2 years ago, we inherited an economic and social disaster. After the worst inflation in 48 years, the wide open borders with millions and millions of people pouring in from all over the world, including criminals of all types, and 11,888 murders,
So the
many
audio
of whom killed more than one person.
is like messed up on this video. I don't know why, but whatever. Nothing that's been recorded by the administration has looked good anyway, so whatever. But yeah. I'm just gonna let him speak his bullshit, and once he gets to the interesting parts, I will start cutting in and talking.
We had transgender for everybody, men and women's sports.
Okay, but real quick though. So in 2020, my name actually used to be Rexina, but then the radical left Democrats they chopped off my tits. They chopped them off. I don't have them anymore, so now I'm just Rex. Cool.
Crime ravaging our cities, and the whole world was laughing at us as a nation, but not anymore. 2 years ago, our country was dead. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. America.
I also just hate how this man constantly has to sexualize our country. He can't just call us good. He can't call us the best. He can't do anything like that. It's always, look at how hot my country is. It's so hot, I could just fuck it. Like,
is
why?
respected like we have never been respected before. We have more money being invested in the United States than at any time in the history of our country.
Lie.
More Americans are working today than ever before. This week it was announced that inflation saw the largest monthly decline in more than 6 years. Just happened. It was just given out. The media reported it, and we accept it. The best in 6 years. The tax cuts in our great, big, beautiful bill are saving hardworking families thousands and thousands of dollars. Like with the provisions, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors.
By the way, none of that was in the Great Beautiful Bill. The Great Big Beautiful Bill is there just to fuck you.
Along with the interest deduction on a loan used to purchase a car, but only if that car is made in America, and a 100% expensing for our job creating businesses.
Also, there's no such thing as a real American car. Yes, we have plants where we make cars, but we don't make all the parts for cars, hence no American car is really an American car. Whatever.
Our stock markets are at their highest point in many years, but we can actually say of all time. And your 401ks, pensions, and retirement accounts are setting records every single day, the highest in history. For years, we paid the highest price for prescription drugs anywhere in the world. Now we pay the lowest price under my most favored nation's policy because I was able to get the rest of the world and the pharmaceutical companies to act responsibly. Drug prices are coming down by 70, 80, and 90%. Trump RX.
Genuinely, where are those prices coming down? I would love to know. I would love to know.
.gov. This will ultimately reduce the cost of healthcare. You have to go to TrumpRx.gov and take advantage of it. But the cost of healthcare is coming way down because of what we've done with prescription drugs. And with Trump accounts, every child in America now has access to a tax-free investment account to save for their future. Billions and billions of dollars are being invested, put in by companies and individuals to take care of our.
Why would companies do that? Genuinely, why? Do you really think that's gonna, help out the average American citizen? It's not. Might help, rich fucks get a little bit more richer, but apart from that, The average person isn't invested in the stock market. No company is going to look at just a random, kid's account and is going to be like, yeah, sure, fuck it, let's dump a few stocks in there. We live in America. This is a capitalist hellhole. Nothing is done for free here. Unless you're in New York City, which, lucky you. But, what the fuck is this man smoking?
Our children, so that at age 18 they will have potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in their account, and they'll get off to a great start in life. So for that, go to trumpaccounts.gov and sign up your child or any child who'd like to sign up. Our previously wide open borders have been transformed into the most secure borders in the history of our country, with 0 illegal aliens being admitted to the United States.
I'm speeding this man up.
14 months. That is 0. Nobody thought
This
it was
old
possible.
fuck talks too
We had the
slow.
worst border in the history of our country, and now we have the best. Crime is plummeting nationwide, with the murder rate at its lowest level since 1900, or more than 125 years ago.
Yes, and that's
We're making
not
a
your
record
fault.
investment in our armed forces, and we have the strongest and most powerful military by far anywhere in the world.
That
I
is
built
his
it during
fault.
my first term, and unfortunately, we're forced to use it now. We won in Venezuela, which is now working.
Shut up, Warhawk. We know you want to use that shit. We know you fucking loved taking over Venezuela. We know you're loving killing random civilians in the Middle East. And we know that you're about to do it all again in Cuba. Fuck you. You're a goddamn Warhawk.
With us to produce millions and millions of barrels of oil. We are likewise winning big in Iran, and you will see the fruits of that labor very, very shortly. America is back and doing really well, but we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed, because no country can be great without fair and honest elections. You have to trust your...
All right, we are getting into the interesting stuff now that he's talking about elections. I'm going to slow him down just a bit. Because this is the fuck shit. This is the fuck shit.
The country, because if there can be no trust, there can be no greatness. And that's very simple. No trust, no greatness. For many years, I've called for bold, swift, and decisive action to protect the integrity of America's elections. Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will
Bro sounds like a Dalek from, like, Doctor Who or something.
be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure. One where cheating and interference are not just difficult, but virtually impossible. Unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short of that standard. Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence, revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure.
He's doing this to pass the SAVE Act, and probably start war with China, but mostly to get the SAVE Act passed. If you don't know, the SAVE Act is pretty much the I don't want married women to vote anymore act, which will literally make it so you have to have, I believe, your birth certificate with you in order to vote, and if your voter ID doesn't match your birth certificate, then you can't vote. Which, keep in mind, most married women change their name to their husband's last name, so their name on said voter ID and said birth certificate won't match. We are dead-ass trying to get rid of the 19th Amendment? Women voting, I believe it was? Yeah. We're dead-ass trying to get rid of the 19th Amendment. And the only reason he's doing this is because, on average, women vote for Democrats more than they do for Republicans. Okay.
This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes, and really exposes, like levels never thought possible, to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference. Just as disturbingly, this vital information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you. The American people are beautiful, are great American people. But that all changes right now. The documents we will release starting tonight have been gathered by the White House Government Transparency Task Force, a great group of people, along with the staff of the President's Intelligence Advisory Board, supported by our top intelligence agency chiefs, who have all personally reviewed the findings. We are presenting this evening and fully confirmed their authenticity. You can see these documents for yourself at whitehouse.gov. That's whitehouse.gov. Go check it out. Our purpose in disclosing this information is not to weaken confidence in election, but to earn that confidence by confronting vulnerabilities and correcting them very, very quickly. And that's what we're doing. The documents cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's...
This man is going to cause World War III. I need you to understand that. This man is going to cause World War III. Although, you know, we're already technically in it since, like, 2022, when the Russians invaded Ukraine. But this man is going to start another front in World War III.
This acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files. That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote and engage in other...
How are you finding the time to send over all these meeting notes?
I got a secret. I've been using Griddle.
Okay. Okay.
Activities, which is exactly what was happening.
Where's the...
This data loss presents an unprecedented election security nightmare. The intelligence even shows that China assigned a data exploitation unit specifically to this new project. Compounding the travesty, the second set of documents we are releasing reveals that members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people, in many cases, in our intelligence agency...
Brother, you are the deep state.
...to actively suppress and downplay information about the extent of China's sinister election meddling, covering it up from both the president and the American people like nobody thought was possible. U.S. spy agencies began learning about the compromise of voter registration files in 2020 when they discovered...
I hope you guys know he's fucking lying. He's lying about all this shit. You can go look in the fucking files too. That he fucking released that proves this shit. It's all bullshit. It's literally all bullshit. He's fucking lying out of his ass. It's all bullshit.
That tens of millions of voter data. Think of that, tens of millions of voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China. Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and hidden. They did not disclose to me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is, this is the most secure election in the history of our country. A standard, very pat line that was divvied out to say. The cover-up of this colossal security breach is even more disturbing in light of the additional information showing that China engaged in other election-related activities to undermine my first administration and our 2020 campaign. They did not...
China stole the election. China. It's all China, quite frankly.
Not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win, and for good reason. As the documents we are releasing show, CIA reporting explicitly stated, and I quote, in mid-2018, the Chinese Communist Party's policy was to leverage all domestic and foreign elements that were opposed to the U.S. president in an effort to reduce the U.S. president's votes and make him resign or prevent his re-election.
Keep in mind, this all allegedly happened under Donald Trump's first term, which means that this incompetent shit let himself lose. Huh? Huh? He let himself lose? What? I thought all this happened under his term.
Isn't that nice? Also, in mid-2018, China was working to influence the results of the U.S. midterm elections and later the results of the 2020 presidential election itself. Separately, in mid-2019, the Chinese government's strategy against the United States was focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot, when actually your president has done a great job. It's focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot.
Keep in mind, he's talking about himself. Donald Trump thinks himself sexy. Absolutely disgusting. Who the hell would touch that with a 20-foot pole?
Actually, your president has done a great job, and they did everything possible to do exactly that.
Apart from Bill Clinton.
Going on, this document says, and this is by the CIA, the strategy included efforts to use Chinese contacts with big U.S. companies to influence U.S. business leaders to turn against the President of the United States of America. The Chinese government sought to identify U.S. journalists who had reported negatively on the U.S. president and pay them large sums of money to write more negative articles about him. As many...
Yes, China paid American journalists to talk shit about Trump because he was so popular and so good at his job. Dude, I should pick up smoking crack, genuinely.
As they could, and they didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election, and the reason they wanted me to lose is because they knew I was wise to them, charged them billions and billions of dollars worth of tariffs, and built the strongest military anywhere in the world. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world. These are exact quotes from the CIA reporting. The name of the person doing the quote is now under review, but it gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden.
You think if you started smoking crack, this stuff might start making sense? Because genuinely, what is he rambling about? China, they took the election from me. You know, they did it in 2018, and they're gonna do it again, quite frankly. They did it, but... like, dude, you have to be on crack to understand what this man is talking about. He's genuinely just bumbling around like a dipshit.
Included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden. Documents show that during this period, dozens of significant CIA and NSA reports about China's election targeting were kept out of the presidential briefing. These were briefings I would get almost every day. Everything was kept out. That was...
It's been a known fact for like your entirety of as president is that you wouldn't take those daily meetings. You wouldn't take those. Why? No idea. But you know, you didn't care. Oh, actually, I know why. It's because he signed up to be the president so he could cover up the fact that he's a pedophile. And he didn't give a fuck about much else.
Of importance. One email among intelligence analysts admitted that they had, quote, deliberately massaged the presidential daily briefing to withhold information regarding Chinese activities related to the election.
Plug this thing in.
Another official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote, a shadow government, unquote, to keep intelligence about China's election meddling from becoming known and to keep it away from the honorable press. Other officials who witnessed such efforts perceived the motivations to be blatantly political. Recently, we found significant numbers of burn bags in formation, and this is a group of bags that were used to destroy information given by President Barack Hussein Obama to be burned.
Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? Yes, yes. Yeah, sure, man. Fuck it.
It was supposed to be burned. These bags were supposed to be at a different level by different people, incinerated and checked, but it never happened. Maybe we got lucky. We believe this was not done on purpose, but rather through gross incompetence of the people that was supposed to burn the bag. But the findings are stunning. Today, I'm asking the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA to investigate how and why such crucial information was hidden, to fire those involved in the cover-up, and to file criminal charges, if appropriate, against these people. Yet concealing China's meddling was only the beginning. The third set of documents we are releasing proves that for many years, Americans were blatantly lied to about the...
If you believe this stuff, I have a bridge to sell you, by the way.
Security of our election infrastructure, including electronic voting machines and ballot counting systems, dishonest, almost all. They're vulnerable and they're easily compromised, and people within our government knew that. Tonight, we're publishing a series of previously classified U.S. intelligence community assessments and other reports proving that our government has long known these machines are extremely exposed to attack. As one assessment states, we judge that the United States adversaries, including, at a minimum, Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, as well as non-state groups, have the capability to compromise U.S. election made by...
So, keep in mind, this is all horseshit, but it was proven that in 2016 the Russians did try and sway the election in Donald Trump's favor, which, he did win. They also decided it wasn't enough election meddling that, that it kind of disqualified the election. But at the same time, it was proven that the Russians did meddle in the 2016 election for Donald Trump. Go fuck yourself.
Supposedly great patriots of our country. The document goes on to further state that, quote, we assess that centralized election-related data repositories, such as voter registration databases, poll books, and other official election websites, are most vulnerable to exploitation, and adversaries could use this access to these systems to disrupt election processes within the United States of America. Tonight, we're releasing all of those findings, and spanning from January 2020 to June 2026. This is a cyber threat aimed at the very heart of our democracy. Many people have questioned whether it could actually be possible to electronically manipulate.
The other big thing that he's not mentioning is if the Democrats had these voting machines, why the hell didn't they use them in 2024 to get Kamala Harris elected? Can you use anything up here, MAGA rat? Can you use anything up here? Is this all just empty space? I think it's all empty space. But I don't know. I can't tell. Whatever, dude.
Vote totals or change election results on these terrible machines. Today, we are releasing documents that show the CIA obtained reporting of a specific plot to do a big number in favor of the corrupt Maduro regime in Venezuela. And that's exactly what happened, conspiring to digitally rig their own country's elections in 2020. And that's what they did. This reporting included precise...
The voting machines that were in America that China sent, they were also used in Venezuela to mess with that election, despite the fact the machines were in the United States of America. Everything makes sense if you just don't think about it.
Details about methods to regime develop to digitally alter vote totals in ways that could not be detected even with an audit, no matter how deep they went. This intelligence underscores why we must take urgent action to ensure that our own system can never, ever be hacked or compromised like it was in the past. The fourth set of documents reveals that even when significant evidence of fraud has been detected, it has been buried and covered up. Among the disclosures tonight are FBI files detailing evidence of alleged fraud by a large-scale voter registration operation in Michigan. In 2020, Michigan State Police raided a Democrat Get Out the Vote organization, corrupt group in Muskegon. And we're so concerned by what they found. They were just so concerned, they couldn't believe it, actually, that they contacted the FBI in Detroit. The documents state that some canvassers admitted to FBI agents that they signed voter registration forms in other people's names, submitted fraudulent registration for people who did not exist, and received gift cards tied to their number of applications that they produced. In other words,
Are we serious right now? Does anyone believe this? Genuinely, does anyone believe this?
was pay, play, and cheat. The FBI agents working on the case believe that crimes were committed, yet the Biden Department of Justice slow-walked the investigation and killed it. Tonight, I'm asking the FBI director to ensure that the matter is fully investigated and to work with the Department of Justice to prosecute those responsible for any crimes. Finally, to reveal just how vulnerable our elections continue to be, we are releasing the results of a stunning investigation by the Department of Homeland Security.
Oh, sorry, that was just my impression of Don
According to
Jr.
the DHS review, state voter rolls and public records, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections. Since Democrat states refuse to share...
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I actually had a phone call with Mitch McConnell, too, by the way. And he told me a lot of things, said we needed to use the 25th Amendment immediately, and then he fucking died right in front of me. It was crazy. But
their voter files. The real number is actually much higher than that. Yet, even this limited analysis found more than 250,000 foreigners illegally registered to vote. Put together, these disclosures reveal an election system so broken and so vulnerable.
If you believe there was 250,000 people who were voting illegally in 4 different states, how do I put this? You are more brainless than the concrete you walk on when you're outside. I don't know, man. I didn't have much there, but, dude, who the hell believes this horse shit?
That no one can possibly defend it. It is not defensible.
Sorry to interrupt.
Another one, bro.
The shooter.
Shut up. Sorry. School shooting's bad, but
Files are in the hands of foreign governments. Our machines and ballot counting systems are exposed to hacking and manipulation and corruption. China and other countries have been trying to meddle in our elections. Evidence of fraud has been buried. Hundreds of thousands of non-citizens and dead people are listed and active on the voter rolls. And yet we still have elections with no voter ID, no proof of citizenship, and tens of millions of...
no voter ID, no proof of citizenship. He is talking about a voter ID card, and proof of citizenship would be your birth certificate. You would take those, and if the names don't match, then oh well. So, if you are a woman and you decided to get married, and you took your husband's last name, guess what? Those 2 names don't match anymore, which means you are now ineligible to vote, which means that we will have effectively taken away your right to vote as a woman. Goodbye, 19th Amendment.
ballots floating aimlessly through the mail. As one example of the insanity, California's recent election for mayor of LA and governor was held on June 2nd, a long time ago, but it was just completed a few days ago on July 10th. Think of...
Yes, California is one of the biggest states in the nation, and is one of the most heavily populated states in the nation. And each state has their own set of laws and rules on how elections are done in those states. Yes, California is one that takes one of the longest, but... Okay, I don't live in California. I don't know all the opinions, but I just know that the way that they do it is very fair, and it's very just. And honestly, I would rather have an earlier election and sit and wait around for a month for them to call out a winner after they've genuinely, counted everything, make sure everything is done, then, just, fuck it, you go do it, and then 3 hours later, they're like, it was a ball from the Bible, or something. Like, I would rather it take an entire month, in my opinion. But I don't know, maybe that's just me, because I feel like it'd be fair that way. I don't know. But... just because it takes a long while doesn't mean that the election is corrupt.
That much more than 1 month. It took a month to count the votes. I wonder what they were doing. This is worse than any third world country. There's no third world country that has elections like we have. In a rare move, NBC and ABC fake news have both said that they would not cover.
He's right, by the way. Most countries use ranked choice voting, where you vote for that one guy, but in case, when all of his votes are totaled up, if he doesn't win, then, you have a secondary vote that goes to someone else. And it's honestly a lot fairer of an election system than what we currently do with our primaries and all this bullshit. That kind of just ends up with ball or Moloch, for every election. So, that's just me. But I would kind of prefer having voting like all the other nations.
For this speech, they knew what it was about. Because of the fact that they don't like the topic, because they know how corrupt our system is, and they don't want to reveal it. They and others in the media are part of a plot. They want to continue this fraud for whatever reason. They want to keep it going. They want to protect the radical left. They can't have a great country, and that's true. You can't have a great country without free and fair elections. Fraud like this should mean a revocation of their licenses, They use our public multi-billion-dollar in value airways for absolutely no money. They pay nothing. All we want is honesty in our elections and honesty in reporting. They pay nothing for multi-billion-dollar assets. Great damage has been done to our country. Our elections were left vulnerable to being rigged and stolen, and the trust of the American people was lost. This cannot be allowed to continue. Every American, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, independent, or otherwise, should be able to agree that we deserve the most secure, honest, and fair election system anywhere in the world. Secure elections should be a partisan, really, we should be together, Democrats, Republicans.
He meant bipartisan, or that's what he meant to say, but he did say partisan, and I'm pretty sure he meant that because, well, you'll see later, but the word you're looking for, Donnie, is bipartisan. Maybe slow down on the dementia a little bit. I don't know.
Republicans, independents, everybody. And it should not be a partisan issue. It should cause to unite us, not to divide us. This should be a cause. We should be united, not divided. In light of the brand new and...
By the way, Donald Trump wants us to all unite around the fact that women shouldn't be allowed to vote. How the fuck does anyone support this man still?
Irrefutable information I have revealed tonight. My administration is in the process of notifying the states whose election data was compromised by the People's Republic of China and many others. We will be working closely to mitigate any harm, and we're taking swift action to ensure that sensitive voter data is better protected so we can never be bought, we can never be hacked, and we can never watch a stolen election again. Tomorrow, the Secretary of Homeland Security will hold a briefing to outline his department's recent work confirming cyber vulnerabilities in our electronic voting systems. They are bad. We're in the process of informing governors, senators, and members of Congress of potential issues in their states. If you look at voting today, it's in such bad shape in so many states, and we are committing to fix it. And we're also committing to be working with those states and local jurisdictions to help them fix and patch known technical vulnerabilities before the midterm elections. We have very important elections coming up. We want those elections to be honest. I've also ordered DHS to notify every state about non-citizens on their voter rolls and direct them to remove all ineligible voters from the lists immediately. But most importantly, addressing this crisis of election security demands that Congress must pass the Save America Act.
What did I say?
How easy is that to do unless you want to cheat? The only reason you wouldn't do it is you want to cheat because your policies are so bad and your candidates are so pathetic that you can't get away or can't get elected any other way. This landmark bill requires that all voters must show photo, voter ID. How simple is that? Could I have your photo, please? Photo, voter ID. All voters must provide proof of citizenship. Are you a citizen of our country, please? And hopefully there will be no corrupt mail-in ballots, which if you watched California and so many other places, mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt.
I'd like to remind you, in the most recent election, Trump voted with a mail-in ballot in Florida.
So you would have no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel if you're going away on business or vacation. These reforms are urgently needed to stop the vulnerabilities that I've mentioned. To all Americans, I ask you to pick up your phone tomorrow, call your representatives in the House and Senate, and demand that they pass the Save America Act without delay. Together we will restore faith and confidence in our country, and we will be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our great military, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
This is not just...
Oh, fucking hell. Fucking hell, dude. I'm tired of just sitting here and listening to that. Can I just say? Wow, that was really just the I'm blaming China on everything. I want to start war with China and, fuck you and die bill. He just really wants the fuck you and die bill passed, you know? He doesn't want women to vote, because they'll most likely vote Democrat. He's blaming China on him losing the election and tying that to the Democrats to try and radicalize his base against the Democrats and against the Chinese. He's gonna piss the fuck off out of the Chinese. So genuinely expect either another trade war or genuinely just open fucking war. Holy shit, we are cooked. But I hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching the JohnRx broadcast. Yeah.